This painting was banned online. Almost immediately. Within hours, it vanished from forums, social media feeds, even AI art communities. Some call it the most disturbing AI-generated image ever made. Others whisper that it's not just disturbing, it's alive in some strange digital way. And yet, no one could look away. Pause. If you think you can handle what's coming, hit subscribe, like, and share. Because today, we're stepping into the darkest chapter of AI-generated art, a chapter where childhood innocence turns into pure nightmare fuel. Welcome to the pale signal, where twisted fiction meets the chilling unknown. Each story we tell is a page from the darkest diary you've never read, a world where horror isn't just imagined, but digitally created. Tonight, we're looking at a place where AI doesn't just generate art, it distorts reality and innocence itself into something grotesque. Tonight, we dive into the unsettling world of AI-generated horror art, where the toys you once loved have been twisted into something grotesque, uncanny, and deeply unsettling. What was once safe has become something your mind instinctively rejects. The questions are simple but terrifying. Why was this image banned? Who created it? And which AI could generate something so familiar, yet horrifyingly wrong? Tonight, we'll uncover the process, the reactions, and the chilling implications of this art that straddles the line between digital imagination and our deepest fears. It began on an obscure AI art forum, a place where artists push the boundaries of what artificial intelligence can create. One user, whose handle was quickly deleted, uploaded a project called Toy Dreams. The concept was simple. Take a classic children's toy and reimagine it through AI. But as the images came back, something unexpected happened. What started as playful experimentation quickly became unsettling. The first iterations were almost nostalgic. Soft, slightly worn teddy bears, a porcelain doll with a faintly mischievous smile, a wind-up robot with round, cartoonish eyes. But as the artist added more detailed prompts, slightly distorted limbs, uncanny reflections in the eyes, smile that stretches unnaturally, the AI took the instructions and twisted them in ways no human could have anticipated. Every new version was more grotesque, more lifelike, and more wrong. The doll's eyes seemed to follow you, their mouths stretched into impossible smiles, and their limbs bent in ways that were almost human. Moderators removed the images almost immediately, citing that they were too disturbing for the platform. Yet despite the ban, screenshots and forum discussions spread across the web like a virus. People weren't just creeped out, they were horrified. This was not just art, it was a mirror held up to our subconscious fears, showing the corruption of innocence in a way that felt personal and invasive. So how does something like this come to life? AI art is not like traditional painting or photography. It begins with what is called prompting, carefully crafted instructions typed into an AI that has been trained on millions of images. These prompts guide the AI, telling it what to create, how to style it, and what details to emphasize. In the case of toy dreams, the prompt started innocently enough. Classic 1980s teddy bear sitting on a shelf, soft lighting, photorealistic. But step by step, the artist added modifiers, distorted proportions, slightly melting textures, unsettling eyes, shadowy background. The AI didn't just follow the instructions, it exaggerated them, pushing the boundaries of realism and surrealism in ways the human mind struggles to process. The teddy bear became less a toy and more a creature trapped between reality and nightmare. Version after version, the toys evolved. Limbs twisted unnaturally, faces stretched into grotesque parodies of childhood innocence. Textures shifted from soft plush to something almost organic, almost breathing. One AI-generated doll had glassy eyes so lifelike they appeared to track the viewer. Another toy seemed to pulse with an impossible warmth, as if it were alive. Every iteration was more disturbing than the last. What was meant to evoke nostalgia instead triggered something primal, a sense of wrongness, an instinctual fear of the familiar gone awry. Visual sequence of AI versions morphing subtly, each iteration more grotesque, accompanied by tense music and distorted sound. When these images leaked online, the reactions were intense. Comments ranged from awe to horror. "It's watching me," wrote one user. "I can't unsee this," said another. "This should be illegal," typed someone else. Even seasoned digital artists admitted to feeling uneasy, some claiming they couldn't sleep after staring at the images for too long. The paintings had bypassed our rational brain and lodged themselves in the part of our mind that reacts to primal fears, distorted faces, lifelike eyes, the subversion of innocence. The debate wasn't just about aesthetics. It became a conversation about ethics. Should AI be allowed to create something so psychologically invasive? At what point does art cross the line into something that manipulates fear? The uncanny valley was no longer a theory. It was a living, digital horror manifesting in pixels. This controversy taps into broader fears about AI, not just its ability to generate images, but its capacity to evoke emotional responses that humans can barely control. If a machine can create fear so precise, so intimately tailored to our deepest anxieties, what else might it be capable of? Childhood toys are just the beginning. This is the frontier, where AI meets psychology, and where boundaries between reality and digital fabrication blur. Some argued that banning the image was necessary to protect viewers. Others said censorship stifled artistic exploration. But in the end, the question remains: do we control AI, or does AI begin to control us? And when it starts creating nightmares from our own memories and fears, what happens next? The toy you once cuddled could now stare back at you from your screen, lifelike, distorted, and entirely unnatural. This is the first glimpse into a world where AI isn't just an artistic tool. It's a digital mirror reflecting our subconscious fears, capable of taking the familiar and warping it into something horrifying. And tonight, we've only just begun to peel back the layers of this nightmare. Hours after the ban, the full painting surfaced, carefully controlled, shared only in private threads and art critique forums, and when people finally saw it clearly, they froze. The image isn't just unsettling. It's a confrontation with something deeply wrong. A childhood toy, familiar in shape, but with every feature warped, just enough to make your mind scream, "This is not real." Tonight, we finally show you the painting in full clarity. But beware, once you see it, there's no going back. ... End quote. The window is not open. Here it is, the painting in all its disturbing glory. Notice the eyes, impossibly reflective, almost alive, like they're following you across the room. The smile is warped, playful at first glance, but jagged, almost predatory if you look closer. Limbs bend slightly, unnaturally, and the textures, once soft and comforting, now feel fleshy, almost organic, as if the toy might move when you're not looking. This isn't just uncanny valley, it's uncanny existence, a digital echo of fear designed to burrow into your subconscious. The AI didn't just replicate a toy. It analyzed, interpreted, and exaggerated features that trigger innate discomfort, something that makes humans instinctively recoil. Even the colors were tweaked by subtle algorithms to unsettle. Pastels too bright, shadows too dark, highlights too stark, creating an unbalanced composition that feels wrong on a cellular level. It's meticulous horror, crafted without human hands, but somehow hitting every nerve in the human psyche. So why is this image so effective? Because it combines three elements that humans respond to instinctively: familiarity, distortion, and agency. The toy is familiar. Your brain recognizes the shape, the eyes, the smile. But the distortions, stretched features, slightly human textures, impossible postures, trigger primal unease. Finally, agency. The AI generates subtle hints that the object is watching, alive in some sense, as though it has a consciousness you cannot access. This combination taps into the deepest levels of fear, the same reactions that make us wary of clowns, wax figures, and abandoned dolls. Except here, there is no human hand guiding the horror. It's machine-made, calculated by algorithms trained on millions of images, learning exactly how to push your mind into discomfort. Viewer reactions online ranged from awe to outright terror. Screenshots of the image circulated in horror forums, with users reporting nightmares, feelings of being watched, and even panic attacks. The internet collectively experienced a digital uncanny valley, a shared moment of psychological unease, all triggered by a single AI-generated toy. This raises bigger questions. Should AI be allowed to create images capable of inducing such visceral fear? What responsibility do creators hold if their prompts generate psychological distress? And where does society draw the line between art and harm? Some argue this is pure artistic exploration, a new frontier of horror where machines can craft nightmares beyond human imagination. Others warn of the dangers: exposure to children, misuse of AI to deliberately terrify or manipulate emotions, and the ethical implications of releasing work that humans may find traumatically realistic. Toy Dreams is more than an image. It's a case study in the potential power of AI, a mirror of our fears, reflected in code and pixels. What does this mean for the future of horror? If a simple prompt can transform a childhood toy into a creature that haunts minds, imagine what AI could do with entire rooms, environments, or imagined worlds. The line between reality and machine-generated nightmare is blurring. Perhaps soon, the scariest stories won't come from books or movies, but from algorithms that know precisely how to exploit our deepest fears. For now, Toy Dreams remains a single, chilling example, a glimpse into a future where horror is not just told, but algorithmically engineered. If you want to continue exploring the darkest corners of imagination, subscribe to the Pale Signal, hit like, and share this video. In our next episode, we'll step inside AI-generated haunted houses, where algorithms construct terror you can almost feel, and where reality itself becomes part of the nightmare. Until then, beware of the toys in your room. They may be watching.